One of the things I have observed on this journey through helping bring forth more elven wisdom into the world is the idea that becoming a light being, such like the elves, as I believe is part of humanity's destiny, is frowned upon by some because they think the world will turn light and fluffy, and in their eyes, no fun with only light, and make humans perhaps more weaker for not being balanced. I have heard elves called fluffy bunnies, even by those who prefer themselves to take on a superficially more darker, more intimidating image in the world than perhaps an elf as Tolkien presented as the fair folk. They get upset with me and my channel thinking that I am trying to make the world all lightness, airy, and, well, fluffy. Let me remind you that this was the orcs' perspective of them as well. They felt the elves were love and light scum that took away the chance for their world to become as dark as they wanted it to become, because they would be shot at with arrows for corrupting Middle-earth. But more on this later. The true reality that Tolkien presented the world is that the elf as a being is both the darkness and the light. But within an elf, both sides become conscious and aware, and can be controlled while directed to the most deserving targets. In the First Age, the elves were not yet fully aware of this balance within, as they were only known as the singers and people of the stars, who would gaze up at the sky and admire the beautiful land. Until Morgoth became widely known amongst them, and the battles took place. There the elves discovered a part of themselves that is necessary to fight the true darkness that spreads. So goes their story of evolution into the elves of the Third Age. Elves are light beings in the essence that they represent the lighter sides of reality, which is what I am trying to inspire humans to become. But it does not mean there is no strength in them. Darkness does not mean strength, as light does not mean weakness. True darkness is hatred that poisons the mind, body, and soul, and corrupts one to make their spirit feel weaker inside, so much so that they must take from others in order to feel strong again. Elves move with a direction and focus on putting forth their different energies towards who is really deserving of them with fair judgment. Elves are no fools, and their love and light comes from being in touch with the truth as self-aware beings, higher wisdom as reflective beings, and justice as knowing their roles as lightworkers of Arda. Have you ever reflected on the Middle-earth that Sauron wanted to create by destroying all innocent life and corrupting the corruptible ones, till no visible goodness was left? The destruction of the forest as everything turned into a war machine to keep the power gained? The fires burning on every corner of Middle-earth to plant Sauron's flags of possession? The torture, cannibalism, and pain of each creature as seen as part of daily life and struggle to endure. The uncontrolled emotions and reactions creating a lawless land that spread far and wide without fairness. The innocent hobbits and other helpless creatures slaughtered or enslaved to only work for Sauron and keep his kingdom running. The corrupt and vile orcs policing the lands, making sure no new life comes forward that wasn't dark or corrupted as them. What kind of life would that be? Now you can understand how the conscious darkness inside of an elf can be used in this case to fight against this horrible future of destruction and help preserve what is good and innocent life. Fighting for the right cause in this way still makes the darkness full of light, in which it is a conscious choice to intimidate, defend oneself, and fight back with the power of anger and righteousness. When the darkness and the light become both conscious, then they can choose to step in place whenever a certain situation is needed. But there will always be a wise choice involved, and you are choosing to display these parts of yourself, knowing you are the working hands of the greater spirit that moves through the cosmos and brings life and light forwards in all souls. You are protecting life as well as enjoying it. When you are unaware of the darkness, the dark side of you can come at any inconvenient time and follows your subconscious ego identity and thoughts, dancing in and out, making you yell and fight with those who are not deserving of your wrath, or worse, harming and killing them. When your light becomes conscious, so does your dark, and together they can work as a team, making you a more well-rounded individual who cannot be taken advantage of by those unaware of themselves. Being able to turn on the darker and more destructive parts of ourselves that inhumans can eat away at us inside, onto deserving invaders of our lives and homes, is the way a being becomes truly a noble and a wise agent working for the whole collective of life. Compassion and forgiveness is always at the forefront of an elf's mind, who can look into a soul and read the sincerity in a heart by looking deeply at many factors. But to negative entities that have no way of controlling themselves, because both their sides of darkness and light are not yet conscious, like giant man-eating spiders or orc-like beings who would eat you up, clothes and all. There can be no foolhardy time for compassion, and only defense is at hand. Elves are no fools. They know logically to distinguish friend from foe, unconscious from conscious, and aware souls. Evolving into a being like an elf, as Tolkien described, does not mean to neglect the darker parts of yourself. Instead, you become fully aware of them, and they are used in a way to best move your life forwards and become a powerful agent to spread love and light on earth for others, while keeping those who have let the darkness become their only visible side of themselves at bay. Elves can be fluffy bunnies to the right souls and at the right time, but they also can be fierce as lions when the situation arises.